T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's do this.
What's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the King and Me Show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
And we back liggity lizard this Monday, March the 10th.
I'm sorry. I'm good.
No, go ahead.
No, that was it.
You was getting crunk over there?
That was pretty much the extent of it.
We're just getting back from a fantastic weekend at BlurredCon, in which black nerds from all over the world and some non-blurreds
Black nerds unite. Hey.
got together, came out, and had a good weekend. We received something that we thought was really dope that we're going to show here in a little bit. But while Michelle gets that prep for us, let's go and take a look at some of the pictures at what went down.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
That.
Like you gotta give a.
All right. So this was a picture of just Michelle and I, as we were supposed to be Black Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. I could not find any face paint to go with my costume, so it was what it was.
And I don't wear makeup. I don't wear wigs. So I put a nice little Erykah Badu wrap on that thing and got me some lipstick and put that on. And then I painted my nails black and then redid my nails last night. But like that was the extent because I don't do makeup.
Now it would have been known though, still, like if it would have been known I was more Frankenstein, I think people would have gotten it that it was Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. But
yeah,
that was actually my first cosplay attempt. So for that, yeah.
You didn't dress up years before? Like, you've been going to BlurredCon.
I don't, because I get hot. I get hot.
I mean, you are hot.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate that.
Of course.
I get hot, so I don't do costume dress up in general. If I didn't get hot all the time, I would.
Dressed up for me?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah. All right, and this was a picture of the group that came with us. So Ruben right there next to Michelle, and Will, who is the owner of Will 4K, aka Perry Productions, over on Facebook. He allows us to stream over on his Facebook page as well. Page is growing. And
page is growing, man.
He came up as a videographer. The dude's one of the best videographers that are out there, and his edit. It's not just because some people, they're either a videographer or they're an editor. He's both. He knows how to capture the scene and edit everything to make it fantastic. So he's going to put together a fantastic compilation for what BlurredCon was all about and share it with us once he gets that done. So Tarika said, where's my shirt? On the way. And I'm not lying. It is on the way, T. I got yours taken care of. I'm going to get Pete's taken care of.
Okay.
And I think we owe Free T, but Free T said don't worry about it.
And Free Teas is on the way.
And Free Teas is on the way. All right. So that was all of us. They came up from Alabama and Georgia. So it was good to see the homies up near DC. And this is a picture that will scar you for life. Take a look. Oops. Take a look.
Atlanta was the Mecca, building roads and trains. They're waiting for a second. Let me put y'all on game. They're telling us what you the town for to make them rich and fast. 2024, you got to say it. You run to Atlanta when you need a check.
Now, that right there is Sweet Tooth from the game Full Metal something or another.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I loved it. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he showed up as a 6'3" Sweet Tooth in the 30-something degree weather. Was it?
Oh my gosh.
In the 30s?
First of all, it was so cold. But what cracked me up about his attire is you were behind me when we got this special gift.
Atlanta was the Mecca, building roads and trains. They're waiting for a second. Let me put y'all on game.
I recognized him, but I waved and I was like, hi, Will. And I mean, just like that, like, hi, Will. He just stood there and I'm like, dude, of course I know who you are. Like, I recognize people.
Yeah, so imagine this fool mean mugging in a cosplay type situation at a BlurredCon. Hilarious. And also imagine you open up your peephole at midnight and this is what's knocking at your door doing the pee dance, talking about some can I get in the restroom.
Like, he was a true G because we had to walk back and forth in between hotel buildings and he walked out like that. And meanwhile, I'm like bundled up in a hoodie with my little Afrocentric wrap on and he just out there walking like that. And I'm like, couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me.
Now, at every BlurredCon, there is a special guest or a special celebrity that pulls up. And for this BlurredCon, we had
VIP on everything. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The artist/actress Janelle Monáe. I don't know what they like to go by, but Janelle Monáe was there as the main convention guest. She really interacted with people and everybody. And under everybody's seats was a huge surprise, a BlurredCon exclusive. And it was
exclusive.
Pew, 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 pew. The first chapter of her upcoming graphic novel comic. All right. But what's special about this one?
Bam!
Is that it is autographed by the artist, the graphic designer, and Janelle Monáe themselves. So, we got lucky with that one. Thought that was dope. But to the people that watch our show, if you are tuned in early and would like a copy, not that copy,
Not
that's
this
a signed copy.
Not this copy.
But we also have another copy. And if you are, we would prefer to send it to somebody that is a fan of Janelle Monáe. They know the person's work and things like that. So if you're a fan of Janelle Monáe, put it in the comment section. Let us know if you would like the unsigned copy.
Because again, unsigned. We're not giving away the signed.
And I'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our weekend. It was a blast. There was only one bad thing, and I'll just admit it. I mean, look, it is what it is. I got the old man syndrome. I got the gout. So I had a gout attack. The gout. You know, whenever you over the age of 40 and you say, I got the gout. So I ended up having a gout attack that occurred. And if y'all don't know what gout is, think of it like arthritis in a sense. And I'm already looking a little bit slim on camera. My bad.
That's what happens when you sit up.
Arthritis, gout attack. My foot was hurting, so I didn't do a lot of walking. I wasn't able to attend a lot of the things that I really wanted to do, but the experience was still dope. Michelle got a chance to experience her first Blurred Con, and I got a chance to see the homies. The homies Ruben and Will enjoyed themselves. So overall, all in all, I enjoyed myself, minus my foot pain and the gout.
Look, I got to sleep in. Everyone was like, "Are you enjoying BlurredCon?" I'm like, "Baby, I'm a teacher who got to sleep in today." Okay, yes, I am enjoying it. It was my first convention in general in the past 2 years where I didn't have to get up early to do something. So I really did just get to sleep in, and I absolutely loved it. It was like the best feeling ever.
All right, now let's take a second to acknowledge the people that are watching live. Shout out to those that are on TikTok that are tuned in as well. We do acknowledge y'all. We can't post y'all's comments on the screen because we haven't figured out the technical integration yet, but we do acknowledge people that comment on TikTok. Shout out to Tarika. She said, let's get these likes up. Get them likes up. Tarika said she also doesn't wear makeup herself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to give my thoughts on makeup. I'm glad that you're not one that uses or wears makeup. I appreciate your natural beauty. Tarika is also one. I've met Tarika in person. Tarika don't need makeup to go about her life and put herself out there. I can't be with a person that requires themselves to get caked up just to go out. I feel like that's an insecurity. That's a king preference. Other men don't care, but that's just my take on it. Shout out to my pops. Larry Smith is in the building. Said, hello, y'all. I'm back this week. Missed you guys last week. What were you doing? Nah, I know what you were doing. I appreciate you tuning in, pops. Tarika said, call you. Tarika, I will. It won't be tonight because I got a lot of stuff post-show that I take care of, but I will absolutely hit you up tomorrow. Just let me know what's a good time to reach out to you. And she's asked how I'm feeling. You know, I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling a lot better. Your boy down 12 pounds since I've really started to, since my meal prepper here has helped me with my meals. And
the other way, it's 8, almost 9.
9 pounds. So yeah, almost 10 pounds since I've really honed in on staying active, getting steps in, staying away from like a lot of the bad things that can cause my body to attack me, which is everything that I like to eat.
Apparently, yeah.
So my goal was to lose, 30 pounds in 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting there. I definitely feel it. I definitely feel it. I see it. I feel it in my shirts that I wear and my pants and stuff. So it's getting there, babe. Thank you. You are one of the reasons why I'm able to do this instead of ordering a steak off Uber Eats every Tuesday night.
Wait, you said one of, what's the other?
The other way.
You said I'm one of the reasons. What's the other?
Oh, my own willpower.
Look at you.
All right. We got Paul Bennett in the building. Paul said, good evening. Salute to you, Paul. Now, Michelle.
I'm sorry. Can you come here? Just like bring your head. Okay. So.
I still got remnants of the wig.
You still got remnants of the wig. And I was just like, that one little hair, I was going to be talking to it all night long. I was just going to be looking and just like having a direct conversation with it.
If y'all want to see a picture of the wig, tune in. What day is it going to get posted? Sunday, we got another picture of me wearing the wig for one last time. That wig was a one-use only wig.
One last time.
Is that something I can get a Goodwill?
A wig?
Yeah.
That wig?
Yeah. No, just throw it away?
Just give it to the flames.
All right, so it's going in the trash tonight. Paul said, I agree. I'm not a fan of heavy makeup. My wife takes her skincare seriously, but wears no makeup and at best some lip gloss. So that's the same with her.
Chapstick.
She will do the chapstick. She put on lipstick for the cosplay that we were doing, but and her skincare routine, she tried to get me on it.
I did.
But until we live together, it's just not gonna work. I have my own habits of way that I do things when it's just me, right? And that's just the way I am when I'm by myself. But I think that that's something that it'll see an adjustment. There's definitely gonna be some things that she says she's worried about. I'm not worried about it. So far, you've shown me nothing but good habits and good things.
Aw,
So far.
thank
Let's make sure that stay that way.
Thank you.
Cause if it don't, them track shoes is gonna be laced up so fast. Now, today, we're talking about the 3 G's
3 G's.
that can ruin a relationship. You love alliteration.
I do.
So say what the 3 G's are and let's get right into it.
Greed, gossip, and goofiness, because I had to find a third one. So two's not my number, three's my number. So I had greed and I had gossip, and I was like, oh, I need another one. So goofiness.
So those 3 things right there, greed, gossip, and goofiness, are 3 things that it can sneak up on you in a relationship so subtle and so fast that when it happens, you may not be prepared for it. If you're the one that's doing it, you might not see how that can impact the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. And if you're the other person, you may not understand how the actions of the other person affects you and why you choose to withdraw or seek pleasure or happiness in somebody else when you've make that committed relationship to somebody, but they're hitting you with the greed. They're hitting you with goofiness all the time. And they're hitting you with greed, goofiness, gossip, to where they're not bigging you up, showing you support and things like that. So let's start with gossip, since that was the last thing that we just highlighted. You do something really, really well that I know that you do. And it's something that I believe that I do for you as well. People always talk about how Michelle must be somebody special for me to be talking about it. I'm like, well, yes. But let me tell you why.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Paul can attest to this, as he's been married for almost as long as I've been alive. But
I feel like he just called you old. I wouldn't take that if I were you.
But there is something to be said about publicly supporting the person that you're with. Now, Michelle tells me all of the time things that she says, that she loves me. She calls me smart. She will hit me. She showers me with compliments that I'd be like,
I don't call you smart. I call you
intelligent, handsome, gifted,
talented.
a lot of things. And babe, I appreciate those. And for me, it's not just her saying that. She don't say that just to me. She will use opportunities when she's talking to her peers, loved ones, and things like that, that when she's speaking about her loved one, aka me, it's not in a negative way. And I think that that gives a good perception of other people about me, so much so that they can support the relationship that you're in because of how you use your words to talk about me. And I'm claw handing right now.
You're doing so well, and then it just came out. Okay, all right, I'm listening.
So people don't understand how far that goes. I've shared this story before, but I don't recall on what platform, so I'm going to share it now. There was one time where I was out with somebody, and I won't say who this person was, but they know this story. And across mutual friends, I was talking about, trash talking that you do amongst your peers, right? People. And I'm a gamer. So I was talking about how I'll beat everybody in that room on this video game. That's what I do. I will likely be 50% in playing everybody, but I am confident enough that I know I can compete. So you just trash talk, especially when you're meeting, new people. I wasn't being disrespectful about it. It was friendly banter. And the person who I was with at the time was like, you don't even play that game like that. And I'm like, trying to reel this person back in, like, chill out. They don't need to know that I'm a gamer, so it don't matter. Like, what are you doing? And instead of her catching that, she continued to like not support me. And I didn't check it. Because if I would have checked it in that moment, it might not have been a proper checking. It might have been me reacting out of emotions like, you need to chill out. And I didn't want to embarrass her in front of who were more of peers and people that she knew than I knew. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sit back. I felt like I was taking an L, but I'm just going to sit back and not say anything about it. But on the ride back, when we had 2.5 hours to discuss this, I addressed it. But instead of her going, I hear you, I'm sorry, this person got very defensive. And looking back at it now, I can clearly see that the love and the respect for what that relationship was done.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't see that then. But when you do something like that and you don't support your person in public, they will use that and that can fester into something that if not checked, if not addressed, if not communicated, is going to lead down a bad, destructive path.
Okay. So when I was thinking of the gossip part, I was leaning more towards the you let other people in your relationship to be able to have a say on what's happening in your relationship, and you take their word for gospel and you hold on to what they're thinking and you place that external person's thoughts and feelings above that of your own common sense, your own heart, and the person that you're in a relationship with. So let's say, for example, we always say, if two people are talking, it's a conversation between A and B, so see your way out of it. So imagine if C didn't see his way out of it. Imagine if that third party is still like in the ear of one of us trying to tell us how we should be in our relationship, what we should and shouldn't tolerate from the other person, that type of stuff. That's what I looked at more when I was thinking about gossip, how we allow external factors to guide and navigate what our relationship with our partner is going to be. And I feel like when you do that, you are dooming your relationship for failure by allowing an external force to have such control and such say in what's happening in your relationship. And A, on so many levels, I don't think that is right. But then B, also, I feel like that's where we go wrong. We have so many other people that we listen to, whether you know it or not. If something happens in your relationship, good or bad, because I do just want to put that out there, good or bad, something happens in your relationship, and the first thing you do is you call up somebody to tell them, girl, guess what my man done did today? Let me tell you. Or, girl, guess what my man done did today? I feel like that is opening up the door for a level of third partiness that's not necessary in relationships. And we have to get to a point where we stop doing that, where we stop inviting people in. Because if you let someone in for the gossip, then they're either A, going to start spreading your gossip, B, they're going to use that gossip against you, or C, if something happens in your relationship, they're going to throw that gossip back in your face as a reminder and an indication of why you shouldn't be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my students this all the time, like, don't tell me something really, really bad about the person that you're with, because I don't want you to stain my opinion of that person, especially if I end up teaching them later on down the road. And then additionally, I don't want you to tell me something and then be embarrassed about it later if you take that person back, because that's why I don't give advice to my students. So, for example, I just found out one of my absolute babies that I love, she and her boyfriend had broken up last year, and then they were kind of in like this lull phase where they were kind of like teeter-totter and they could get back together. And she told me some things that she did after they broke up.
Okay.
But I just heard that apparently the young man did cheat on her at one period of time. And I'm like, I'm glad she knows to have not told me that, because then I would sincerely look at her and question, so why are you still giving this person your attention when you know that they cheated on you? And I feel like it's moments like that where you have to leave some parts of the conversation out. Like there's some things that should just be between you and your partner. Because when you let that third party in, there's judgment, there's a condemnation, no matter how much we try not to. And you're opening yourself up for a floodgate of opinions that should have nothing to do with how you feel in your relationship.
Mm-hmm. And take everything that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Consider what I talked about prior. Tarika said to what you were saying that she agrees.
Mm-hmm.
What I was saying, like, it goes hand in hand to what you included. Because think about this. When we left,
Mm-hmm.
there was tension during that whole interaction between me and that person.
Mm-hmm.
And you know people had to been talking about us. You know that at some point when her and her friend were talking, you know, I don't believe that the friend would have been a champion of making the relationship work. That when that friend saw the interaction between her and I, that then gives the gossip train enough to go, yeah, I don't see y'all, you know, with that. Like, you know, y'all should just go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know that. They don't have to verify that. They can say, King, that's not true. I would call both of y'all a liar. But that's just my take on that. These are my words. It's my podcast. I say what I want.
Our.
Gabrielle Union. Did you see that? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So Gabrielle Union was on this whole, I don't need no 50-50. I'm a contributing partner in this relationship, just like my husband, NFL Hall of Famer, Dwayne Wade is. And then she very publicly said that in an interview. He himself, Dwayne Wade, followed that up with, I can't tell Gabrielle Union nothing. You know, she is her own individual, all this and that. And I'm kind of paraphrasing. Just for Gabrielle, not even like a month ago on a different podcast that was like, I have no idea why I said that. Because when them bills started coming up, I was like, Dwayne. And Dwayne, and she even said, Dwayne was like, you were the one that wanted to, you know, make everything 50-50. I was just giving you what you fought hard for. But he said it stemmed from the fact that he said, my house. And she said, oh, my house? And she was like, I will never have another person do that to me again. And I was like, I don't even think that it was that way. Like when I said my podcast, I didn't mean it as my podcast.
I know what you meant.
You know what I'm saying? But I bet, and I'm not in their house, but like to me, I don't know Gabrielle Union. I don't know Dwayne Wade. She seems insufferable. That's just my take on her.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you say
No,
that.
there are people that I think are dope. That I'm like, they seem like really cool people.
One.
Who were we just talking about? Jennifer Hudson. She's in a relationship with Common.
Everyone's been in a relationship with Common.
Here's the thing. If they don't work out, I don't think that it's because of J Hud. I think it'll likely be because of Common.
Really?
Yeah.
The same woman who was engaged to the father of her son for like 9 years and they never got married?
Why did she accept the engagement? You know if somebody gonna marry you or not. I'm just saying. They haven't talked about marriage between Common and J Hud.
Because he's good. He moves on. Like, he moves on quick to the next woman.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we're talking about insufferability though. I believe J Hud's a cool individual and a very loving person.
And this is a prime example of the gossip that you don't need happening in your relationship.
I like how
Real
you did
time
that.
play on that.
I like how you did that. Now, the other G's, let's go with greed.
Okay.
How do you think that greed affects and can ruin a relationship?
I think that when it comes to greed, I was thinking about this and I was like, how should I write this down? Because I don't think it's greedy or selfish to make sure that your needs are met in a relationship.
Okay.
What I do think is greedy or selfish is to always put your needs above the needs of the relationship as a whole. Here's what I mean by that.
Oh, I'm
Here's what I
listening.
mean by that. So we have one pot, right?
Yes.
Let's say we have one pot.
Okay.
And in the one pot, we have one pot because we have XYZ bills that need to be paid
All right.
from said one pot. Putting your needs above our needs as our needs in the relationship would be taking money out of that one pot to buy something that is specifically and explicitly for you. Something that is not going to benefit our relationship, something that's not going to benefit our household, something that is not going to better prepare us for the future. So taking the money, I believe, is selfish, greedy, and then additionally, not considering how it would impact us as the joint front, I believe is selfish and greedy as well.
I don't like that example.
Why not?
Because how does it account for something that I just want?
That's what I'm saying. Like the one pot. I believe the concept of having joint accounts, putting money in a joint account, I'm also fine with the one pot. However, when you take things out, so let me put a dollar amount in there.
Because didn't we talk about one pot?
We did. Let me put a dollar amount in there. Let's say that in the one pot is $1,000.
Okay.
And that's money that's going towards electricity, whatever. So we have 1,000 in there, and we have about 800 that needs to come out for bills. Just throwing out a random number. So that would mean that after bills, we would technically have 200 left. But the thing that you want for you, which is not going to benefit our relationship in any way, shape, or form, it's not going to be helpful to me, it's not going to alleviate stress off of my plate, anything like that, that particular item is $350. So you take out of our one pot $350 to be able to buy the item that you want. And now you've just put us in a deficit of $150 that we needed towards our bills. I feel that is selfish and greedy.
What about, in your same example, we got $200 left afterwards. And I'm like, Madden 26 just came out, and that's $100 right there.
Are you talking to me about it?
No.
You're just going to go out and buy it?
Yes.
Huh. You and I see things differently.
Why?
I feel like if it's one pot, that means it's both of our earned income. And I feel like there should at least be not a discussion to say, hey, are you cool with me going to buy this? But at least a mention.
Okay.
Because what if I had something planned for that money too?
Hey, babe, I'm in Walmart. I'm about to go get Madden 26 with our $200 that's left.
Let me quickly run through and see if we didn't have anything like earmarked for it that you may not have known about it. You know, like a baby shower just popping up out of nowhere that you may have to go get a gift for or something like that.
I think we're going to have more discussions about this.
That's going to have to be a deeper conversation because I already told you my thing about one pot, I pay tithes. I'm not saying that needs to come from any portion of your income because it's tithes on my earnings, what I have earned. But that does bring a great conversation to the concept of one pot. Is it really one pot or is it just a joint account for bills? Because I look at that as two totally different things.
Okay.
And it sounds like just off of this, we need a joint account for bills, not one pot.
Interesting. Paul said, just got back. King's story was interesting. I agree that a partner should not embarrass you or put you down in public, but should they go with your embellishment or lies? Interesting perspective. It's one of the things that
I texted you about it. I had a thought and I was like, let me just text it to him now and just get it out there. That way you can look at it later.
I think that in that kind of, to me, it's clear, but I guess really it's not for others. Like if Michelle's like, oh, I'm going to wipe the floor with everybody in Uno, but I know she's only played Uno twice. I'm still going to go, yeah, babe, right? And we play the game, we have fun, whatever, and we get through it. I'm still going to support her in that, even though I'm thinking in my mind, She's only played Uno twice. This might not go well.
But is that any different than like yesterday when we hung out with your friends? The one comment I kept saying was, come see me in, what's that little thing called, skee ball?
Skee ball.
I kept saying, come see me in skee ball. I was like, I got you. Like, don't even worry about it. I'm about to dominate. Like, how is that different from that, though? Because it's not, to me, I'm not saying that in an embarrassing way. I was even saying, let's go bowl, and you kept giving the excuse of your foot, like, oh, the gout. And I'm like, whatever, your foot is not necessary in me whooping you in bowling. Like, but I'm serious, like, how is that different?
This is where I suck at explaining things. It can be looked at, and you can tell, like, even amongst playful thing between me and you, where you like, with me in front of my friends, go, hey, let's go over here and play skee ball. And then if you go, oh, you want me to go ahead and whip you real quick? Like, there's a clear thing of how that's said and how it's done and the execution of it that you can tell is said with love and respect behind it versus malice. Like, it's clear.
My text message will make much more sense later.
Now I'm curious. I don't know how to describe it.
It's on,
but it's clear.
Yeah.
So while I read this, go ahead.
So I'm a jokester. This is a big thing about me. I believe in sarcasm. I believe in laughter. One thing that a former pastor of mine said was, a day without laughter is a day wasted. And I feel like I may have held on to that a little bit too tight, because I do truly believe it, that there needs to be a level of humor. I am also non-competitive, non-athletic. All of those, I am the exact opposite of. But I will talk trash. I really, really will. I will talk trash about my Uno skills. The only time I don't talk trash is about spades, because I value my life, and I feel like as a Black person, if you talk trash about spades and you can't back it up, it's just not going to go well for you. So that's like the one thing I don't talk trash about. I'll talk trash about Bidwiz. I don't even think I'm saying that name correctly. I don't even know how to play that game, but I will talk trash about it. I will talk trash about me. Like, come see me and go fish. I got you, right? Like, I will talk trash about all that, knowing good and well I am going to lose. But I also don't expect I don't expect you to look and say, oh yeah, she got you. Like, don't even worry about it. I expect you to be like, yeah, she gonna, like, I expect that, because that's who I am. I am sarcastic. Mm-hmm. I default to dry humor a lot. I am like a female Deadpool type thing. That's kind of where I am with my humor. So I expect that back. I personally wouldn't take offense of that. Now, it's different if I haven't said anything and my partner is like, Michelle sucks at this game. Like, she's just terrible at it. Please don't give her a deck of cards to play. Like, she's just absolutely horrible.
Malice.
Exactly. So I look at it as the intent behind how you're saying it. I also recognize that, pulling back from a couple of episodes ago, I sometimes think that our hurt allows us to hear and receive things differently. So when we're already in a difficult place with someone,
doing with this.
Yeah, when we're already in a difficult place with someone, it don't matter what they said, even if there was no malice behind it, we're going to receive it that way because we're already hurting.
You're
you
good.
Know.
You're good because you brought that up. You pull it from that, and that goes to the question that you asked me.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get too into it. Let me just preface that. But it's number one.
Okay.
It's number one.
I also don't remember what I texted you, so there's that.
But the introduction to what you just said could be applicable for number two. So when you recall what it was that you sent me.
Oh, now I remember.
That. Okay. Yes.
Y'all, the memory. The memory.
Now, what we just talked about was a good segue into goofiness as well. When we were putting this together and we discussed goofiness, it's a bit of that, right? I'm playful. I think that opposites can attract, in which you can have somebody that is playful and somebody else that is serious, right? And it's the intentionality. That is Michelle's word. And you use that
Yo,
word.
I should get that tattooed on me. Intentional.
And sometimes the way you talk about it, intentionality, your interpretation of somebody's intent. You and I, we've had disagreements
We
on
have.
the intentions and how we perceive other people's intentions to be.
I always assume that people, let me not say always, because this is going to sound really bad. For me, and I recognize that this is me, but I have been hurt so much that my default is to assume that people are trying to hurt me, that they are sincerely trying to hurt me. So not even so much that they're not sincere, but that they're sincerely trying to hurt me.
Mhm.
That's where I look at when I come to most things. That is a terrible way for me to live my life. I recognize that wholly. But I will say that that is where I am most of the time. I assume that someone does mean ill will. And I kind of just operate from that. I don't let people in to my circle. I assume that there is a bad intent with things.
And I just assume by default people are stupid. That's just my default thing. So sometimes Michelle and I, we will see the same thing and we will have two wildly different interpretations. One, this person's probably going to be watching, or they might be shadow watching now. One person put a comment up and Michelle and I had two different interpretations of what the comment actually meant. I won't say the person's name.
Can I say the comment?
You can say the comment because this person's going to know that they're the one that put the comment. And they're going to
That's
apologize.
why I'm asking if you're okay with me saying the comment.
Yes, only because while the comment got interpreted one way, I know I know this person. They're not a bad, malicious person.
So the comment was because King and I, we post this funny video at the beginning prior to the airing of our show. So we did a video and the comment said Jester, I see Jester. And immediately when I saw it, I called King and I said, who is this person and who are they calling a clown? Are they calling you a clown, me a clown, or us a clown? And King's immediate response was like, that's not how the person meant it. And I'm like, jester means clown. Like, what other definition could there possibly be? What other meaning could there possibly be for this particular thing? Like, I look at that and I don't care. That's a moment where this is something I learned last year and it really had to sit and marinate with me. There's a difference between intent and impact. And I recognize what you're saying, that person may not have intended it that way, but that was the impact that was felt. I received that as one or both of us was getting called a clown, and I have every issue in the world with that.
Now, how can we discuss that though? How can we come to a resolution, if there should be a resolution, when I'm telling you, like, I know this person and I'm not trying to be dismissive of how you feel about the impact, yet we don't agree on that it was as impactful the way that it should have been. Like, how do we work on coming to a resolution on that so that we both walk away understanding that we were at least heard?
I don't, like, to be clear, I don't feel like I wasn't heard when I brought that up to you.
It could have gone that way. So, and things do get that way. So that's why I'm asking this very specific question.
Old me would have been like, I don't understand why why you're not changing and conforming to what I'm saying is offensive. Like, old me would have flat out thought that. Like, why is he not conforming to what I believe is offensive?
And I wasn't going to.
And I recognize that you and I are two totally different people. And the example that you brought up in that situation had to deal with someone who has like autism and ADHD, to which I said, as a teacher, I am always taught to correct the behavior, right? You look at the behavior that a person is exhibiting, and you separate the behavior from the person and you correct the behavior. And that's where I approach this from. Like, I see that comment of jester, and I'm like, correct the behavior. It has nothing to do with the person who said it. Like, I'm not looking at that individual person. I'm looking at the behavior. And the behavior is someone posted this and thought that it was okay. I don't care who the person is. You correct the behavior. You can correct it in humor. You can correct it in seriousness. You can correct it and be like, calling the clown. I know, or something like, I know your clown tail's not calling someone else a clown. Like, but you address and you correct behavior. That's where I'm coming at it, because that's me. Teacher had some tens of thousands of dollars of education used to say that I'm an educator, saying that you correct behavior when it's undesirable behavior.
Then I fall into the category of, if somebody's going to correct me on something that wasn't intended to be a certain way, then I'm just going to be like, okay, unsubscribe.
And see, I get that you're saying that, but someone corrected your behavior today.
When?
At work.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Intent versus impact. Again, it's not that you're it's not, we all do things. We all do things, and it's not that everything is coming from like this malicious place when we do things. We all do things that are interpreted differently by other people. It's a part of human life. And the reality is, because this is where I am right now in my life, if I offend you, I'd rather you tell me about it so that I don't continue to do it. If I am the type of person who, like, every time I talk to you, I slap you on your knee to have a good old conversation with you, and you don't like that, I'd rather you tell me about it so I don't continue to do it. Because it's not like I'm doing it to hit you or abuse you. That's how I learned to communicate. But my intent was to just be playful and have a gesture with you. But your impact was that you received it as pain and you'd want me to stop. Intent versus impact. It's not about how one person necessarily meant it in a bad way, but how you didn't receive it in a comfortable way. And me just letting you know I was not comfortable with that.
You have a point. I hear you.
But I disagree.
There are things that I disagree, because like there's still a level of, while that's true in that form, the way that our conversation went and the specific thing was a different level. But I don't know how to convey that because I'm not a good explainer of things.
It's okay.
Bet.
I'm not going to hold it against you.
All right.
Because you're still cute.
Now, expound more on goofiness and how goofiness can ruin a relationship.
I think, what did I say specifically for goofiness? Because I write things down and then it's out of my mind. Oh, this is a big one. So we talked about not encouraging a person, but then also passive aggressive behavior. So full disclosure, I am very sarcastic, right? I am very, very sarcastic. And sometimes there is a fine line between my sarcasm and my passive aggressiveness. And I miss that sometimes. I miss that, and it'll be an after effect. Specifically, it comes out on my students sometimes. I miss that until after the moment has passed, that wasn't sarcasm, that was actually passive aggressive behavior. And that is not healthy in any relationship, no matter the type of relationship it is. So whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, teacher to student, students to teacher, passive aggressive behavior is not okay. And I feel like that causes a relationship to deteriorate, and you don't want that to happen.
I agree. I think for me, like, passive aggressive stuff are things that it's so funny. Sarcasm, a lot of the times I dismiss, but I treat sarcasm as if you were being serious, because I don't want to use the brain cells and waste the brain cells on if you were sarcastic or if you were being serious. The only time that I could tell sarcasm is when you smile very exaggerated after you say something. But for the most part, because I'm focused on other stuff, that I miss sarcasm.
Mm.
But over time, like if you were to be overly sarcastic with me, and you're not, but if you were to, I don't think we would have a relationship that could work out, because one day I might interpret sarcasm as disrespect.
Mm.
And I don't think I have that filter between addressing something when it's disrespectful and addressing something when it was said in a respectful way. And that could be detrimental, because my default is going to go, I don't need this.
Mm.
I don't need this. Why am I here? And then I'm going to go, why are you here? And then I'm going to go, why am I here again? And then I'm just going to dip.
I get that. I hear you.
Let's see. My pop said an awesome answer. Grievous
Mhm.
grievous words
Steer.
stir up anger, but a soft answer turneth away wrath. He didn't write turneth, but I know that's
King James Version.
yeah, that's something that my dad would say, or something that he would bring up
From King James.
from King James, because that is a King James thing.
It's, if you're saying turneth, then most
Okay.
likely, yeah.
All right, turneth uppeth. Now, it is, and your communication style works in a way that it allows me to want to be in the same space as you.
Mm. Aw, that's a
Well,
compliment.
it is, and it's something that you do. Like if you were quick to just blow up and speak from anger, I'd be like, why am I here?
That was teenage and 20-year-old Michelle.
Oh, we could not have worked at your
But
younger years.
that was also when I drank. So I will say things were a little bit different back then.
Paul says sarcasm is like a strong spice or herb. A little can make things spicy, too much and it can spoil a dish. 100%. So what's a good way to address sarcasm that you're not trying to be a mood killer, but you also want to let the other person know what you think about what they're saying or doing?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I think that would more so be a question for you, because you don't use sarcasm on me that much, but I am very sarcastic. Not overly sarcastic with you, but I do use it a little bit. So how do you get to the point where you're just like, okay, that's enough. Let's reel it back in.
All right. I try to use a lot of the techniques that you and I talk about, where I'm a slow thinker, which is funny to say out loud, but I want to say it. Let me change that. I'm not a slow thinker. I'm someone that would prefer to get through all of my thoughts on something, work through different scenarios before I speak on something. Because if you ask me something initially, I might go, this is how I think about it now, but I haven't fully worked through all of the stages to really understand how I feel. So I would come to you and say like, hey, so remember when you said this?
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you, I ain't really feel that. And this is why. I believe I'm decent about doing that. When it comes up, that allows you to be able to at least hear me out.
And this is where the funniest part to me, the funniest part about who we are as individual people and as a couple, this is where it gets funny to me. Because if I say or do something, I look at it like, in my head, I look at it like you got a solid 3, maybe, no, 1 to 3 hour window to be able to come back to me and say something about it before I have completely pushed that out of my mind and out of my system. And like, I've always heard that your mind can only like hold a certain amount of information, so it gets rid of non-important information to be able to make room for new information that's coming in. That's kind of like my mind. Like, my mind is like that little ledge. Like, it's like this little ledge. Like, it happened at 12 o'clock. And as things continue to happen throughout the day, that little 12 o'clock thing got pushed off the ledge, and it's just no longer there anymore.
It got pushed off at 12 o'clock, 0.01.
Pretty much. Like, it just is like, okay. And you do that. And I understand now that it's not coming from a bad place, but I'm just like, honey, can we shorten this time when you're coming back to say something to me? Because you waiting hours or days to say something, I don't remember what you're talking about. Number one, like, I legitimately don't remember what you're talking about. And then number two, my emotions in that moment have changed, and I'm in a different place right now. And the place where I am right now does not have the ability to process that.
Paul said, King, I should develop a look that conveys the message. I don't know if he's talking about like a look like. Or I was thinking of, no, that's a bad example. I was gonna say, who was Tina Turner? Who was she married to?
Oh, who was she married to?
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness gracious. I had a brain for y'all, excuse me.
See, that was the 12 o'clock that got put on.
But I was thinking about the way that Lawrence Fishburne looked in the movie. If I give you that look.
May she rest in peace. May Tina Turner rest in peace.
If I give you that look, then that means tighten up. I have no idea if that's what Paul meant, but that's what my brain went, first of all. See, like, I play a lot, but what I don't do with my goofiness is play at the expense of Michelle. That's a quick way to ruin your relationship, because it's going to have somebody not agree and feel as though you love and support them. Did you see how I went from claw hand to the Obama?
I look at it as like a clicker. Like I'm clicking something.
Now this is certified Barack Obama. Me and Barack Obama are born in the same month and the same day. And since 2013, I've been trying to get a shout out from him on his birthday. And I know he's more than likely not managing and looking at his social media. But one of these days, Barry, a birthday shout out would literally make my entire existence. Appreciate you. I always give him a birthday shout out, but I haven't got one yet.
I give him one. We're going to work on that.
Hey, one of these days.
We're going to work on that.
You never know.
I don't think it was last year. It may have been when you were turning 39. I kind of went and supported and tried to help low-key too, thinking, this will be the year. I think I did try.
Now, we are working on, okay, he said, that's exactly the look. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake.
I would love some cake right now.
Now, let's wrap up the show.
Oh, what time is it? Oh, okay.
It's at top of the hour. I do want to highlight something. We are possibly, if we can work out the scheduling of it, going to have on a guest. Paul's going to be on our show too. We have to work that timing out. But Michelle and I networked at BlurredCon. And the person that we networked with had asked us about our live stream and what we talk about. Mm-hmm. And we exchanged social medias. I was not prepared for what I saw on that person's social media page, but I would like to explore that as a topic for our channel. Not necessarily what this person is into, but I think some of the dynamics of it, right? That and her lifestyle and things, for as much as she's open to share, her profile's public.
I was going to say, like, her profile shares some stuff.
And I thought it was interesting, and I asked Michelle, I said, hey, would you be cool with, because it's different from kind of what we talk about. We're not going to deep dive into, there's not going to be a whole episode about it, but I do want to convey other people's thoughts and opinions on a healthy relationship, however that looks for them, right? For example, Michelle and I, our agreement is monogamous. Yeah, I think just that's like the overall umbrella. We are in a monogamous relationship, and that's what her and I agreed on. People like Neo, who's a very public person, people know what type of time he's on, and what's interesting is that he said like he's always been that way, but only recently has it became public when somebody asked him about it. But his private life, when I'm saying private life, and how he was and his thoughts, he's like, it's not new news. I've always been that way. But people are just now starting to talk about it, and they only talked about it. He said, I wasn't parading the fact that I am in I don't even think he called it relationships. He may have said agreements or relationships with people that when I'm with them, I demand exclusivity. Exclusivity. Thank you. From them, but I'm not exclusive to this one person. So he might have 5 people, and his agreement between them is that when they're with him, there are no other men, but he will have other women. And the way he said is that's the agreement. And if you are okay with that, great. We can work something out. If that's not your jam, you don't have to be in this relationship. You can go live your life and do whatever. So monogamous, but I do want to have conversations with other people that a healthy relationship to them looks a little bit different. And this person definitely has a different thought on what healthy looks for her. So we're hoping to set something up with this person and think that it'll be interesting.
Okay.
Anything to close us out with, babe?
I think the biggest thing is understand that when you are in a relationship, however many people are in that relationship or how many people belong in that relationship. So if you are in a monogamous relationship, that means that it's you and one other person. That means there shouldn't be 3 people who are guiding your relationship, 3 or more. If you were in a poly, however many are in that poly are the people that are in that poly. It shouldn't be extended to more people. Continue to put your relationship first. Continue to put the health of each individual person in the relationship and the health of the relationship first, and prioritize that over everyone who is outside of it. That is something that I feel like as a society we're just like, oh well, let me just put my friends first, and X, Y, and Z over my man. And like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Put your relationship first. You're in it, you're exerting time, you're exerting energy. Fully commit to it and be there.
No doubt. Okay. I don't really have anything to add to that. That was very similar to what I would say as well. So I'm not going to fluff this by just talking, because I don't believe in just talking just to talk. Next week, we will be back live.
Oh, shoot.
And we already know what we're talking about.
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, okay. So we're talking about, so this is something that fascinates me as a woman, because I get compliments all the time. Like, I had on this purple dress on Friday and I got all these compliments, and I did the typical girl thing. I was like, it has pockets. And I was so excited, and I just got so happy, and I loved it. But as a woman, and I'm trying not to say this in a cocky or arrogant way, but we often get compliments. People will unabashedly offer a compliment to us and just say, hey, queen, I love your locks, I love your hair. You'll get that all the time as you're passing down the street. But I just realized that men don't get the same amount of love. And after spending like 2 days hanging out with 3 guys and just hearing that discussion, I was like, that's something we should talk about. Like, men, why don't y'all get that same amount of love? What happens when you do get those compliments? How do you feel? So that's what we're talking about next week, showing the men some love.
Now, fellas, help prime this up. This is going to be a clip. So share your experiences about when you got a compliment out in the wild. Michelle compliments me all the time, but I told her it's different when you as a man get a compliment out in the wild. That compliment can carry you the rest of your day. You can get a compliment on your way to work. Your boss can show up and say the crappiest thing to you, and you just gonna smile in your boss's face because of the compliment that you got at the gas station from a lady before you got to your job. So a compliment from a lady in the wild goes a long way. That was reinforced with the conversation that Michelle had when I was with me and my homies. So we wanted to put an episode, give the fellas a voice in this one, because I think it's going to be more guy inputs than the ladies. But ladies, y'all are more than welcome to share your experiences and things as well. But like Michelle said, y'all will get 50 compliments in a day.
All I care about are my pockets.
All right, let's see if we got anything on TikTok. No compliments on comments on TikTok, but we did have several people tune in and hit the like button over there. So to the people that watched on TikTok, thank you. To everybody else, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Love the comments as always. Paul Bennett said, good show as usual. See you next week. Paul, man, we appreciate you popping in when you have time, brother. We know that y'all are busy people and everybody have lives, but y'all choose to take this block of time and tune in with us and contribute to the conversation. So to everybody out there, Larry, Tarika, Paul, who else did we see in the comment section today?
I'm not sure.
To everybody that commented, y'all, thank you. We will be back next week. Michelle, since I have on basketball shorts, I'm going to need for you to get up and bring them lips over here.
Okay, let me be dramatic with it. Mwah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.